So I believe that Omnia Radiation Balancer is one of the best, if not the best, protection from radiation available on the market for your mobile devices, obviously, and routers. And I want to tell you why I think this. But before I'll tell you, I want to remind you that the best way of protecting yourself is covering the basics. So make sure that you switch off your phone whenever you don't use it. So especially if you go to sleep, just switch it off, or at least turn on the airplane mode, which I do. That's the quickest way of disabling all communications. 2, make sure that your phone is as far away from you as possible, even if it's switched off, when it's in the airplane mode. It's better if it's at least, half a meter away from you, or even further, 2 meters away from you. And if it's turned on, even further away. If you insist on keeping it on, just put it like 5 meters away from you, or further if you can. Switch off your router if you can, especially if it's, again, close to you, like 2 meters away from you. If it's 10 meters away and there are 2 walls in between, that's probably fine. But if it's, much closer, switch off your router. Obviously, protect yourself with Omnia Radiation Balancer. That's the second best thing you can do. So the first one is keeping your distance, limiting the contact, the physical contact of, touching your phone, holding it in your hands does affect your body. So limit the contact, that's number 1. Number 2, use Omnia Radiation Balancer. Number 3, use common sense. It's not really difficult. Use common sense. Stay away from all sources of radiation. For example, people are worried about 5G, but really there is only one aspect of 5G that may be dangerous, which is the millimeter waves. But again, if you are inside in your house, the millimeter waves cannot penetrate the walls, not in the slightest. They have difficulties penetrating your clothes. Walls, absolutely not. People have noticed that when you put a piece of paper in front of any source of radiation with millimeter waves, the data transfer drops drastically. The rain affects millimeter waves, so don't worry about it. Also, if you don't have a 5G phone in your hand, then nothing for you to worry about, because your phone is not communicating with the tower. Now, if somebody else is communicating, you might get a bit of that radiation, but not a lot. The phone will be the strongest source of communication. So educate yourself in the first place, and then you will know what to do, what is true, what is not. So remember, cover the basics first. Limit the exposure time, put the sticker on. And now I'm going to tell you in detail with Tim, my business partner, why we believe this is the best solution on the market. Enjoy. Hello, welcome. We are going to answer the most common questions about the ORB, the Omnia Radiation Balancer. So, Tim is the founder of Omnia brand and the products behind it. Tim, so what exactly is the ORB?
The ORB stands for Omnia Radiation Balancer, and it's a simple patch that you put onto any radiating device, and it harmonizes the radiation field. It's the result of over 20 years of research into radiation and what makes a radiation field toxic. And it's a simple patch. You put it on any radiating device. It could be your phone, your iPad, your watch, your smart meter, even your car, and your microwave oven, of course. So it goes anywhere, and it harmonizes the radiation field.
Okay, Tim, so how does the ORB exactly achieve those results that you talk about, which is the harmony and protection?
So once the ORB is attached to the radiating device, it harmonizes the field, and that means that it changes the state of the radiation field so that it is in the same vibrational resonance as the human body. And that means that there's no longer any disharmony between the radiation field and the human body.
So the next question is very important because customers often ask that question. Will the patch actually reduce the strength of the signal?
No, because you need the signal to deliver the data. So it's all about accepting that there's a radiation wave field coming to your phone and balancing it out. So we like to give the example of an orchestra that's playing at high volume. So all of the instruments in the orchestra are all playing out of tune, right? And that would be offensive to your ears, you know, if you could hear it, right? But your body is hearing all of this volume that's out of tune, right? And what we do with the Omnia Radiation Balancer is we meet that orchestra, we tune it up so that it's in a resonance that actually our bodies like, but we don't reduce the volume.
Very interesting. Next question I think is very important. I know a lot of research has been actually done into the orb, the creation of the orb. So exactly what research has been done into that area?
The orb is a result of 20 years of research by Dr. Ilya Lakisevich into radiation. He used to work in laboratories with radiation stronger than the sun, but he made an important discovery. And that discovery is that there's a big difference between natural radiation and man-made radiation. It turns out that man-made radiation is disharmonious to the vibration of the human body. So then the search was on as to how to make it harmonious to the human body so that there were no harmful effects. And that's how the orb was born.
Okay, thank you. For our next question, we have actually prepared a small presentation. We will be using 2 glasses of water. So, Tim, I know you have done quite many tests to prove that the orb is actually effective. So, what are the 3 most convincing proofs that the patch actually works?
Yeah, so the first and most important test is on water, because water absorbs radiation and it gets upset by radiation. So what we did is we took a radiating device and we basically irradiated the water for 5 minutes, making a phone call, and then we tested that water, and then we applied the Omnia Radiation Balancer to the phone, and then we put that next to the water for 5 minutes while we made a phone call, and then we observed the results, the difference between the crystalline structure of that water and the crystalline structure of this water. And this came through perfectly geometrically aligned, structured water. And that's good news for your body, because our bodies are between 72 and 92% water. Our blood is 92%, our bones are less. So that was very interesting. And the second test that we did was on blood, because we mentioned that blood is 92% water. Well, I watched a video for 20 minutes on my mobile phone, and then we took a video of the live blood analysis, and all the samples stuck together in what's called rouleau syndrome.
So you took actually, after watching the video, you took sample of your blood, yes? That's what you mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
So watched a video for 20 minutes and then observed the impact on the blood. And what happens is that it all sticks together. And there's 2 problems with that. It's not a disease, but there's 2 problems with that. First of all, the oxygen is harder to deliver to each of the cells because they're all stuck together. And secondly, the blood cells have more trouble passing through the capillaries in the body. So it just represents stress, which is the precursor to all disease. So that's not good news. And the last test that we do is kinesiology, where we use the body's electrical signals and its strength to show us whether it's reacting to the radiation field or not. Now, we've done about 300 of these tests, but we generally test the baseline, the strength of the person, and then we put the phone in their pocket and see whether their energy field changes. And it happens immediately because this is an electrical reaction. And then we put the Omnia Radiation Balancer on the phone and we do the same test, and everyone goes super strong when they have the orb on their phone. So we know that it happens instantly, and we know that the effect is one that brings balance back to the body.
Okay, now question about the blood. So after testing the first sample of blood, you then again took the phone with the patch, did the whole thing again and tested your blood again.
That's right. So effectively, I turned everything off overnight, and then at 10 a.m. I took a baseline. So we just observe what my normal blood looks like. And then 20 minutes later, I'd watched a video on the phone. So we took another sample. And then while my blood was still in that state, we put the orb on the phone and then did 20 minutes more, and it reversed the effects of rouleau. So that was instant. So that's very positive news for the body. which is what we want.
That's pretty incredible, yes. Now, you said that there might be a fourth proof coming sometime soon. What is it?
Yeah, we're really excited about this. There is a machine called Dynamica, which can measure the heart rate variability. And it's basically a little tray. And on that tray, you put your two hands, and then that measures all of the rhythms, the heart rhythms in your body. And it can give you a readout of everything that's happening in your body, the amount of stress you're under, the performance of your brain waves. Heart rate variability is known to be affected by phone radiation because these things are extremely powerful, and our heart is the biggest electrical pump in our body. So there's obviously going to be some kind of interference there between the phone and the heart. So if we can prove that that no longer happens because we've got the orb on the phone, then that's really good news.
So the preliminary results are promising, you're saying?
So yeah, I've only tested myself and someone else who already had an orb on their phone, but both of us were looking really good.
Okay, excellent. Okay, the next question is how long does it last? How long is the patch effective?
Well, this is the good news. It lasts forever. There is energy in the patch and it never runs out. So once it's on the radiating device, the radiation is harmonized forever until you lose your phone.
Okay, excellent news, excellent news. Next question, also some customers ask, can I just take the patch and put it on a pendant and hang it around my neck for protection, or is it not good?
No, that's not the way that the orb works. The orb is designed to be part of the radiating device, and once it meets the radiation field that connects to that radiating device, it then overrides it and balances it so that it can't then cause this disharmony in the body. So that's the way that the orb works, and it's actually easier to balance the radiation field than it is to try and balance the body's reaction against the radiation field. And part of the reason for that is that we're all different. You know, I'm different to you, Kamil, and yeah, we have different blood, we have different diets, we have different psychological behavior, everything.
Yeah,
so
everything,
yeah, so it's easier to meet the radiation field because it's always the same.
Okay, makes sense to me. So the next question is from many customers as well. So many people basically say that this type of products, they don't work at all, or they work very little, not very effectively. So how can we be sure that your orb actually works?
Yeah, good question, because there's lots of different products that try and do different things. And so what we say is that our science has found out exactly what it is in a radiation field which does the harm, and we seek to correct that. So first of all, we think we've got the science that really is authoritative in this space. Secondly, things like things that try and reduce the strength of the signal, things that try and deflect it or negate it, well, then you're not going to get the data delivered to your phone. So it becomes about balancing that field that's delivering the data to your phone. And we would say that you have to make sure when you're buying a product like this that you have seen the real tests on someone holding a phone, using a phone, and see what reaction that has in the body. And that's what we've done. But we're also bringing new technology to the table, which is really exciting, which has the potential to do lots of things. But our first entry-level product is to use it to balance radiation fields so that your devices are now safe to use. But what we don't want to say is that just by putting a patch on your phone, it's fine. You know, you still need to turn it off overnight. You need to look after yourself when you're in a meeting, take it out of your pocket, put it on the desk, that sort of thing. Because there are still, you know, big threats from radiation, and you need to own that situation. You need to be very careful.
So now that we are talking about that.
Yeah. Always a good idea. I mean, what Kamil has just done is very important. You need to be aware of when your phone is in contact with your body unnecessarily. own that situation and put distance between your phone and your body, because otherwise there's going to be this dissonance. Fortunately, you've got a patch on your phone, which is good news for you. But in general, you can never be too safe. You want to switch your Wi-Fi router off at night if you can. Switch your phone off. Don't use it as an alarm. Get it away from anywhere near your brain overnight, because it's delivering a lot of toxins to your body. And overnight, your brain is trying to sweep out all of those toxins from your body. So that making your bedroom a safe zone is one of the things that we recommend. But obviously, a lot of people make phone calls all day on their phone. And in that situation, you want to be balancing the radiation.
Okay, that's a fair point. So next question is kind of very actually personal for me as well, because when I look at the orb, it looks to me like a sticker, So is it just a sticker?
Well, obviously not. It's a sticker that can do extraordinary things. But to understand why it does extraordinary things, we need to look at physics and what atoms are and how they behave. And everyone from Tesla to Einstein to even Nassim Haramein in modern times are coming to the conclusion that every atom has motion and is a spinning ring of energy, right? So if you can imagine that the patch that we have here contains a lot of spinning energy that has programs in it, and that program is designed to meet the radiation field and bring it to balance, then that's what we do. Now, it's much more complicated than that, and we can provide details of all of the science on demand, but we just want to give the impression to people that it's not just a patch that's sitting there doing nothing. It's containing some really exciting energy that could be used for lots of different things in the future as well.
Okay. Right. The last question, probably a very important one as well. Why does the whole industry claim, or seems to claim, that the radiation is actually safe?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And what we have to say is that they only do one test in the industry to prove that it's safe, and it's all based on heat. And it's based on the old principles of ionizing versus non-ionizing radiation. So what they actually do is they get a plastic model of a human being with plastic skin and fill it with fake blood, which is, a combination of salts and oils and all sorts. And then they press the phone next to the plastic skin to see if any heat went into the fake blood. Now, there's one thing missing from that test, which is a live, living, breathing human being or rat with a heart and a brain, because electrical signals in the body are important, because that's what is reacting when a phone meets the human body. It's the electricity in the body that's reacting to the electricity in the phone. So that's where we are. We're in a situation where physics in general has to wake up and understand that there is evidence out there, and there is about 10,000 peer-reviewed studies on rats that shows that the rats are developing diseases. So we need to look at what it is in non-ionizing radiation that doesn't cause enough heat to be, technically it's to break chemical compounds or to shake an electron off an atom is what ionizing radiation is. But non-ionizing radiation is causing all of this damage, and we need to really look at why that is. And that's where we come to the table. We show exactly what it is in a radiation field that harms the human cell. And this is information that needs to be shared. And everyone can come and ask us any question that they wish, because we want to get that debate started.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. That was actually very useful. I really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, Tim.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Kamil.
Cheers. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, guys. And links to the products under the video, links to the Amazon store. You can also find it on eBay, and also you can buy it on Shopify. But probably if you buy it on Amazon, it will be the best option for you, the quickest possible delivery. And this is the part of the business which I actually supervise, which I run. Also, if you use the links, these are also affiliate links, so I will get extra kickback from Amazon as well. well. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope you will get benefits from Omnia Radiation Balancer. Remember, this is really great for people who are hypersensitive to radiation. For everybody else, you may not notice the difference, which is fine, but I promise you there is a difference. It does make a difference to you, and you can do those tests, the kinesiology muscle testing, you can do the blood tests, to check how it affects you. It does affect you one way or another. It does affect you. So Omnia Radiation Balancer is helping you even if you don't know it. But again, you can test it. If it doesn't work for you, just send it back for a refund. We will absolutely give you your money back. So take care. Have a safe life.